Hello and welcome to the long lost P&A podcast, where we were supposed to put out a podcast every 2 weeks on a Monday, and we didn't. So yeah, that's fun.
Yep.
But there's some reasoning behind why we haven't been, and we're just kind of here to explain that very quick. So
Yes.
anything to say, Austin, on that, or
Yes, I will say something. It was both of our faults. One of us forgot that we had a podcast, and the other one had a death in the family. So
yeah?
bear with us.
Yes, and also we when we first started this, obviously we knew it was going to be some work to put in, obviously. But I think for both of us, it became much harder than we actually thought it would be.
That
And
sounds accurate.
for me at least. I'm sorry?
No, that's accurate.
Yeah, no, so it's a lot more work than we ever thought it would be, and that kind of got the best of us in a way. And so we really underestimated everything, and we're going to try our best to get better at putting out content on a other every other weekly basis. So, please be patient with us because you don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're
And
doing.
we've been patient with you, okay? Be patient with us. We're patient with you, okay?
Yes. So, yeah, it's just been a lot. It's been a crazy last month. So,
Yep.
it's just been very interesting and funny, ups and downs. So, but hey, we are here. Content,
We are
content, or
here.
whatever you want to call it.
We hope you'll be content with the content. So
Yes, it is coming your way. And we're about to hit you with some juicy, juicy stuff today. So please, continue to be with us through this journey. Uh, Subscribe, please. Like our videos and or our audio recordings, whatever you want to call them. And just
our podcasts.
yes, and just be with us through this. It's something we want to do still for you guys, and it's just fun for us. And so yeah, welcome back. Okay, so what are we talking about today, Austin? What are we getting into?
We got news, man.
What type? Old, new?
These are actually very old, to be honest. I think the newest one of them is February 28th, and the oldest one is from last year in the fall.
Nice.
But they're good.
Good. Because we don't want anything lost here on the P&A podcast. So,
No, yes, we have very high quality standards, as referenced by our very high quality.
yes. Okay. So, what are we starting with today for first news story thingy?
Okay, researchers have found out through conducting very extensive research into these researchy topics.
Ooh.
Staring at seagulls can stop them from stealing your food. We've all been there when you've been sitting on the beach and a seagull comes up and snatches your potato chips. And you feel so helpless. Which is why we spend taxpayer dollars, actually not US taxpayer dollars, Britain funded this,
Yes.
to find out that if you stare at a seagull, it will not take your food.
Right. I'm just going to read a little bit of this article right here.
Go ahead.
Britain's seaside towns are at war with their seagulls, urging visitors not to feed the birds in an effort to stop them snatching tidbits like potato chips from tourists' hands. And then it continues to say the research showed that with a human staring at them, Herring seagulls took 21 seconds longer to approach a bag of chips than when left apparently unobserved. So, I want to describe a seagull, in this case, as a small child. Basically, trying to sneak something from their parents, right?
That's kind of accurate,
I
except for
mean,
they're not your children.
they're seagulls. They're somewhat like children, small minds. Um,
They, but seagulls float, so there's a bit of a difference there, isn't there? And they fly. You have flying children?
um, children can fly in their dreams. Don't crush little children's dreams. If there's any little children listening to this podcast, don't let Austin kill your dreams. You can fly one day if you put your mind to it.
Okay, there is a reason that we're not child friendly anymore, because if we start telling children that they can fly, they're going to be jumping off roofs and whatnot.
And then we're suddenly sued by 50 million people because I told them they can fly.
Yes. We need, like, you gotta sign a waiver before you can listen to our videos or podcasts.
Link down in the description. We're going to put a waiver.
Although I tried flying once with an umbrella,
Yeah, no.
it didn't work. I think I just hurt my
You
feet.
tried Mary Poppins it. That didn't work.
Yeah, didn't
No.
work.
But going back to the seagull thing, uh, this is very interesting because, like they said, it says in here they're an aggressive bird and they will take food, and we know that from real life too. Seagulls are terrible.
They are very aggressive. They will poop on you, they will steal your food. They do whatever, really. They're kind of like pirates or something.
And it says when they were conducting these tests, it was interesting because most of the seagulls wouldn't even come near them during the tests.
Yep.
So that kind of actually makes their tests hard, and it makes you wonder how accurate it actually is, to be completely honest with you.
I think this could be a whole new profession. Working at the beach as a seagull starer.
Like a scarecrow,
Yes,
but for
a
seagulls
seagull
to prevent
starer.
them to steal their food. Bro, we should create this stuff.
Someone who goes and stares at seagulls professionally.
I know we just came back to the podcast, but we might as well ditch it at this point and just create the seagull starer.
That's true. We're not making any money here. But we could be making money staring at seagulls.
Right. We patent this product called the Seagull Starer. We go on Shark Tank, get a loan, get an investment. We start this multi-billion-dollar company that will one day be a multi-billion-dollar company. And we'll just be, like, rich for the rest of our lives, dude.
I've got a better idea. You know how you have public service when you, like, commit a minor crime, right? You gotta, like, go pick up cigarettes and beer cans off the side of the road.
Right.
What if you make staring at seagulls, that is your
Public
service requirement. You go stare at seagulls for 48 hours.
That would be amazing. Just you see once convicted felon or whatever doing their service hours just on a beach with their parole officer or whatever behind them, and they're just
standing.
It's just staring seagulls down, just like, no, not today, boy, no. That'd be an interesting sight.
Would be an interesting job.
No, it's not even like a service hour thing. Just a full-time job.
Full-time job?
They hire lifeguards at the beach. They just should hire seagull starers. And
now, is this like a college job? You know, got to get certified in seagull staring. Which tactics work best?
Maybe. Oh, it's like how you have to go to school to become like a referee or whatever for sports.
Right.
It's going to become its whole own college.
Its own college.
Its own college. Seagull staring school.
Seagull staring school. Oh.
It's going to be the top #1 party school in the USA, mainly because everybody is bored out of their minds, and they just need something fun to do once in a while.
Yes.
I think that is fair enough.
Oh. All right, shall we continue then?
Let's process.
We have more news.
Yes.
Moving away from seagulls, but still keeping with the theme of flight. A flight crew from Delta restrains, I suppose the best way to call it, someone who claims they're God aboard a Delta flight and returns to Puerto Rico.
That's amazing. Why don't you read us a little bit of the article, mainly because
Yes,
I
here we
can't
go.
find it right now.
Delta airline flight attendants restrained a passenger on a flight from Puerto Rico to New York after he shouted, "I am God," and claimed he would save the world, forcing the plane to return to the airport in San Juan, Puerto Rico. In San Juan, Puerto Rican police and the airline said on Wednesday.
What did they say? Well, that's amazing. So they kicked him off the flight, right?
Well, they actually had to turn around and fly back, so even worse.
Okay, so did he make it? Did he make them turn around? Like, turn around, I am God.
Well,
Or
I
was
think
he like,
they have to treat it like a terrorist threat, although, I mean, God isn't really a terrorist. But they had to turn around just out of procedure. They
that's
got a
just
nut
weird.
job on the plane, just
So,
turn around.
so one guy on the plane just yells, "I am God," and they're like, "Oh no, he is God." Okay, here's more about the article. It says Delta credited passengers with helping subdue the man who became unruly on board. They took custody of the man, identified him as Carlos Ramirez.
So not
um,
actually God.
so no, I mean unless God has the name of Carlos Ramirez, I don't know.
Is that his, like, alias? His
Maybe
other name?
I
Just like
have
Clark Kent.
I have a theory that God might be Carlos Ramirez for all we know. I have a theory because Jesus in Mexican is Jesus. So,
Yes.
we'll never know.
I think he should have probably performed a miracle, and then they wouldn't have turned around.
Maybe. The miracle was the flight turned around.
That was the miracle.
It said the case was taken over by the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, and okay, it said he was aggressive and shouted, "I am God." So he just said, "Oh, interesting." I'm going to read this whole thing that this statement says he said, okay?
Read on.
The suspect was aggressive and shouted, "I am God. San Juan is going to disappear tomorrow. I came to save the world, and I'm going to end terrorism." That's maybe why they turned the flight around.
Well, I think the real question is, did San Juan disappear? Because if it did, and it's not there anymore, then he might be God.
Wait. Like, is San Juan still in? I'm trying to type in, is San Juan still in Puerto Rico? And it's like, is San Juan still without power?
Well, that could have been, he might have gotten half it right. San Juan just ran, their electricity just went dead.
So, I can confirm San Juan
Mm.
still in Puerto Rico.
So he wasn't God then.
Is it safe right now? Maybe not. Interesting. There's a lot of things about San Juan. But nevertheless, also reading through this article, it says they handled the situation pretty
Well, I suppose
well.
that's
So
good. And there's not, I don't think there's like in their procedure code on how to deal
Delta,
with someone who claims they're God is probably not written in there anywhere.
just add that one to the handbook. guy.
What to do if one of the passengers pretends they're God? Like when they're telling you before the flight where all the escape exits are, where your life jacket is, where your oxygen mask is, what to do if God is on the plane.
If God is on the plane, please stay in your seat and report to a flight attendant immediately. Yeah, no, that's funny. I don't know, it makes you wonder because there also have been people in the past who've claimed, like, I am Jesus, I am God, I am the Virgin Mary, whatever. People have done that.
That's
Um,
true.
and you can find news articles all over the world about that. Um, it just makes you wonder, like, one day they're a normal kid living their normal life, and then one day they just wake up and they're like, you know what? Today, I'm God. Just what goes through their mind at that point?
Maybe he thought it was Halloween,
Oh, maybe. That's a very
right?
good point.
And he went in his favorite character.
My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ or God or not the same person, but I know. Um how could he go as God though? God doesn't even have an image. We don't know what God looks like.
Well, you know
Dang.
what he doesn't look like now.
Yes, he does not look like Carlos Ramirez from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Age 30.
Maybe he was meant to be a different god. Maybe he was like one of the Roman
Ooh.
gods. Or the Greek gods. Maybe he went as Zeus.
I don't think there's a Greek or a Roman person out there with the name of Carlos
Carlos
Ramirez.
Ramirez. Well, he should have been more specific. Maybe that was his
Yeah,
mistake.
probably.
So you should take notes about this. How to succeed
How to succeed in life in general or as a fake god?
as a fake god.
Okay, cool. Just had to clarify on
Yeah.
that.
He got it wrong because his miracle didn't really come true, so that is a bit of an issue.
Well, I think his statement on San Juan going to disappear um probably has a lot of political things to do with it.
Yeah.
Because when I looked up, is San Juan still here or still in Puerto Rico? It said like, I'd guess it's nice for tourism and stuff, but it's maybe not the nicest place to live and stuff. And they do have like any other country or whatever, they have like their violence and stuff like that. So I don't know how the political situation is out there anyway. So
I think
I don't
it's
know.
a little bit ironic how he said San Juan is going to disappear tomorrow, which that sounds like a very terroristic statement. And then later he says, I'm going to end terrorism with
I came
terrorism.
to the world. He says, I came to the world to save it, and I'm going to end terrorism.
What book is that in?
The book of Carlos Ramirez.
It's the First Opinions, Chapter 5.
Yes. And then the first book of this book of Carlos Ramirez would be Ramirez, and then that's the first chapter. It would be called just Ramirez. And then chapter 1 verse 1 would be I came to save the world, and I am going to end terrorism.
Yes. I believe that is the translation from the ancient Greek.
Yes.
All right, I think we
Because
have thoroughly exhausted God here, or at least the listeners.
no, I feel like we've just really exposed this Carlos Ramirez, and we don't even know who he is.
We
Like,
have definitively proved that he wasn't God, in case you were wondering.
Carlos Ramirez, if you ever hear this podcast, we are sorry, but you have brought this upon yourself.
Well, he failed. It's too bad.
Better next time, bud, or next person, or whoever.
Write that down in the big book of things you should never
Yep,
do. Pretend you're God.
for sure. 100%.
Yep, alright. So, our next news story. We're going from
Juan.
wherever we were, San Juan, yes, to Belgium, where researchers are trying out insect butter.
Now, if you didn't like normal butter, or margarine,
No, it's just
or I can't believe it's not butter,
too good.
which is probably margarine, we got the
It is.
solution for you.
This sounds a lot more, I can believe it's not butter.
I can't believe it's not bugger.
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 Well, let me read something here.
Yes.
Clad in white aprons, the researchers soak black soldier fly larvae in a bowl of water, put it in a blender, and create a smooth grayish dollop, and then use a kitchen centrifuge to separate out the insect butter. There are several positive things about using insect ingredients, said however you pronounce that name, who oversees the research.
I'm on the same page as you right now, and I'm looking in the corner, and there's actually a video about them talking about the butter, and I think how they make it, and it's kind of disgusting because it's like live larva and stuff. But why would they do this?
I have no idea. Maybe they're running out of cows or something.
Oh, well, it says here they are more sustainable because insects use less land than cattle.
That
And
is true.
they are more efficient at converting feed. And they also use less water to produce butter.
That's actually a good point. Why don't they just use the bugs to feed the cows, and then, you get like a compromise?
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, that way you'd get your bug butter and your cow butter at the same time.
Maybe. It's weird because this video, it looks like normal butter and it's really disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not all that keen on it. I have had bugs before, like
Yeah.
properly cooked.
You went to Mexico, right? And
Yeah, there was at like every corner of the market, there was a little lady with a bowl of bugs.
mm-hmm.
It actually was not that bad, to be honest. If they're seasoned properly,
Right.
they are actually pretty decent.
Well,
But
in some places here in America, and I know in Mexico too, like crickets or whatever, they're like considered
yeah, crickets is one
they're delicacy. Um, no, there's a ballpark. I think it's Seattle. There's a baseball park, and one of the menu items is fried crickets or whatever. It's on the menu.
I'm not really against bug food, but I don't like the idea of having a grayish dollop of bug bits on my toast in the morning. That just sounds kind of nasty.
Okay, here. So the Seattle Mariners, they at their baseball park, they serve toasted grasshoppers with a chili lime salt that comes in a 4-ounce cup for $4.
What are they seasoned with?
They're seasoned with a chili lime salt.
Oh, I totally missed it. Actually, are they reddish?
What do you mean, the grasshoppers?
In color after they're seasoned, not the grasshopper themselves.
Somewhat, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they're
Probably
toasted.
very similar to what I had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like just like crickets jumping in a bowl and you have to try and eat them with chopsticks.
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
not that. No.
They are dead. We have to clarify
Yes,
that.
they're dead.
Having a bowl of jumping crickets and then trying to put like salt on them or something would not be practical.
That's disgusting. Not gonna lie.
No, that would be kind of disgusting, having bugs jumping in your mouth while you're trying to eat.
No, for sure.
Those are one of the things I try to avoid.
Yeah, no, it's just weird because so they make it when they're making this butter, they make it into like a cream or somewhat with it's so like larva fat that it says, I guess. And okay, so it looks like butter, but it has an unusual
Yes.
taste.
I like my butter the way it tastes. I don't
For
really want
sure,
to
same.
change very much.
So it looks like real butter, but it's not. And it doesn't taste like real butter. But I don't get the point of it. It's not like they're saying it's healthier for you or whatever else. They're just saying, "Hey, we can make butter out of bugs."
Maybe, well, actually, the protein content might be higher
Yeah,
because, like,
but let's be honest.
I don't know.
Who wants protein in their butter?
I don't know. It's not, doesn't sound terrible to me.
I I like my fatty butter. I want to get like I don't want to be healthy when I'm eating butter. You know?
You don't want to be healthy.
That's what the whole grain bread is for, or like the eggs I'm having with my bread and butter, you know?
Yes. I suppose the real question is here, can you make bug cheese then?
Don't give them any ideas.
We have many nasty types of cheeses. Like, I suppose I've never had blue cheese, but it doesn't look very good. I suppose bug cheese would probably be worse.
It's okay, blue cheese. Obviously people call it moldy cheese. It's not really moldy.
Well, it's
We learned this in
kind
biology.
of, but
The
yes, it's
blue stuff is actually what is it? I forget.
death.
No, it's a type of acetylene, like not amoxicillin or whatever. Or it might be, but it's actually good for you. It's moldy cheese, so it's not maybe not good for you, but it doesn't like it's not moldy to the point where it's bad for you. It just has a really strong smell and taste, but really good with buffalo wings.
That's an interesting thought. And crickets, apparently.
Interesting. Blue cheese. What is the blue?
What is the blue?
What is the blue? It's penicillin.
Oh, really?
So cheese made from milk of cows, sheep, or goats with the mold penicillin or penicillium or whatever.
Okay, I was gonna say, penicillin is it's just got pills of penicillin in it.
So no, it's just not bad for you. So it's just like a modified.
No, it's not bad
Right.
for you. I know
So
that. They're not gonna sell you moldy
right,
food
right.
intentionally, saying it's just a
No,
delicacy.
so it's just like it's a modified food where it has mold, but the mold won't kill you by eating it.
Right.
Yep.
Well, we've gone from crickets and we've moved on to blue cheese.
I think this is a very fair transition at this point.
Yes, we're actually gonna end up going a bit long, but I think that's okay because we've been gone for like a month and a half or something.
Welcome to our
So,
1 hour special. No.
a 1 hour special. Oh, wow. Okay, so I think we're actually on point with the transitions today. We're gonna go from talking about food to talking about more food in the question of the day segment, which is, what is the worst meal you've ever had?
Man, it's a good question because like I'm not really a picky eater. I'm not gonna lie.
Neither am
But
I.
there's some foods that I won't touch if I don't know what it is.
Oatmeal might be on my list. I have had a lot of bad experiences with oatmeal?
I'll eat oatmeal. It just depends on how it's made because my
It
family.
looks like vomit. I'm not eating any food that looks like
See,
vomit.
I like my oatmeal dry, and everybody in my family likes to make it into soup, and it's actually disgusting
Ew.
like that. I
Like baked in the oven. That is actually tolerable.
Yeah, no, like we make it in the microwave or in a pot. My dad made me oatmeal this morning. I ended up putting it back in the microwave because it was like soup. And like oatmeal like that, like you described it, like vomit like, it's actually disgusting.
Yes. I think there's been 2 or 3
Mhm.
occasions where I've eaten it. One of them, well, no, I've eaten it more than 3 times, but I've been sick on those 2 occasions. One time I was in the car, in a road trip, oatmeals and banana, and
Mhm.
being a little kid and going on hills that go up and down, on roads that go up and down like a roller coaster, that is vomit country, and it looks the same way coming out as it did going in.
Right.
So, yeah.
Um,
The other time I got violently ill and also threw up.
mhm. I would have to say the worst meal I've ever had, there's maybe a few. I like seafood. It depends on the seafood, I'm not gonna lie. Like, clams or mussels, or like, you know
Okay.
how, some people, they leave like the inside like raw or whatever,
Yeah,
and you have
yeah,
to like
kind of know what you're talking about.
slurp it or whatever. That to me is disgusting. It's just, and I think I've had it
I-
before. I cannot eat that. It just like brings a gag reflex to me.
I've never had raw clams. I've cooked with it
Or like
before
mussels, I
and made.
forget what it is though.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, or
Kind
no,
of a similar thing, right?
scallops, I think it is.
Scallops.
Yeah, scallops, because they have the shell. Yeah, I think. I'm not sure. Another meal I hate is liver and onions.
Actually, I don't hate liver and onions.
I cannot stand like chicken liver. It is actually the most disgusting taste in the world to me.
Chicken liver is just too small. You gotta do like beef liver. Beef liver
I've
is a
never
bit better,
had
'cause then
beef
at least then you got.
liver. I will never try beef liver.
Ah,
So,
I think I've discovered the types of food you don't like. It's either the really ritzy, rich food or the really poor, poor food.
yes. Um, oh, and if one thing I don't like about food is like sometimes there have been occasions in my life like you bring food to work or where you go somewhere and you don't have access to a microwave or something to heat that food up and you're stuck eating cold food like that was straight out of the refrigerator, like chicken or whatever. I have a gag reflex to like all cold foods.
Really?
I hate eating food cold. Like cold pizza, I know some people love it. For me, it depends on the pizza, but I rarely eat cold pizza. It's actually disgusting to me.
I don't hate cold food, but I would obviously rather have it warm, but I can tolerate it easily with if it's cold. Doesn't bother me.
No, I get it. To each their own. I mean,
Yes.
other than that, those really, I'm not a super picky eater. It just depends on what I'm feeling that night.
The other thing last thing that I'd say I hate is baby octopus. I've had that once, and I don't think I would ever do it again. Very nasty.
I like
It's just
octopus, but what do you mean by baby octopus? Just like,
like if you order like octopus,
r-
adult octopus, which is just a piece of tentacle, right?
right.
Baby octopus, it is a small octopus,
Oh,
and you eat it the whole thing in
it's
one
the
bite.
whole thing. Okay.
It does not look pleasant.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste pleasant. It actually doesn't taste like much. It's just like sort of eating like sea jello.
Yeah. I was going to say I actually like octopus, like whole octopus. I know a place where they cook some pretty good grilled octopus and calamari. So, I know a good seafood place.
You got a
I
guy.
got a guy. I got a place.
You got a place.
But I do have a guy, so.
All right. How far over time are we? We are 6 minutes over time.
Wow.
So
Not gonna lie.
36 minutes flown by.
Not gonna lie, this is actually one of the easiest recordings of a podcast we've done in a while. Like,
I
to be
I
completely
gotta
honest.
agree.
Like, it's been
We've-
pretty smooth all the way throughout. And,
Yes.
it's quality content that we promised you. So,
Yeah.
you are
something like that.
welcome, viewers. Or listeners, or whatever you are.
Whoever's
Pioneers.
listening. The pioneers.
Yes. So, thank you for tuning in, listening to us, and we'll try to put something else out within the next week or two.
Yeah, it should be in
Next 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Or maybe next week. We'll have to talk about that because
We'll figure something
maybe
out.
to make up for the time we missed. So,
Yes.
okay, please don't forget to like and subscribe our videos. Please share this with other people who you might think would enjoy our content. We want to expand our subscribers, our whoever listens to us. That would be great. The first episode we put out did really well. We had a lot of views on that, and the second one had about half those views. So we would like to try to get those up. So thanks for tuning in and have a great day, guys.
Bye.